What's up, y'all? So, this is not the podcast, but I decided to do a video of keeping it real tonight. I wasn't planning on it, but I've had a hell of a roller coaster day today. So, I've got to explain it to you and tell you what the hell happened and why I felt so good and then all of a sudden felt so bad. So, I, uh, I have a word, and I don't use this word much. When kids do something that they know that they're not supposed to do, you never use it. You never use it unless you have to tell them that, hey, that was bad. Okay? And I've had a coach tell me this once in my life. One time in my life. I'm not going to get into that, but the word is disappointed. Now, some of y'all have a mother or father may have told you that. My grandmother really never told me that because she just whipped my ass. That's just what the answer was to everything. However, um, that's where I use that word. Disappointed to an athlete will kill you. It'll absolutely kill your heart if you're a true athlete and you really care. All right. So, um, here we go. Today, I uh, I actually got in an argument with one of my friends, one of my athlete friends from 1980s. All right, and I'm gonna give him love. Okay, I did this. His name's Rob Morello. Now, think about this, man. Is that we were always cool with each other in school. He never fucked with me, and I actually was in awe of him at times because he can do shit on the wrestling mat that was incredible. However, lately, we've been talking shit back to each other about you know who, fucking Donald Trump, which kind of makes me sad because it's just one man. It's just one man. Yet, I know Rob will never vote to the left. I know that. And I know I'll never vote to the right. I can't do it because uh, I just can't. Because of how me and my grandparents grew up. Nevertheless, it got so bad that you know how I don't know if you know this, but athletes when they wrestle or play football with each other, they know how to cut their teammate deep. They know it. Oh my God, they know how to do it. Now, we can fight and call each other a bitch or whatever when we're talking about Donald Trump, but when you get really deep and you hurt someone's feelings because you know you can, that's where it's gone too far. Now, I'm no better. I'm no better than Robbie because I did the same damn thing. And I'm not going to say what the hell I said, and I don't, and neither one of us care. The real thing is this, is that it got so bad that Robbie gave me a call. Now I'm going to explain something to y'all, okay? Maybe some of y'all don't know this, but when you grow up on the streets, there's only two paths. In all reality, there's three. You have to have maybe lived right next to them their whole life. You've had to go on to the military with them, or you've had to play sports with them. That's the only way you could be able to trust those people. And still then, it's character that you have to trust. That's what you got to do. So, um, it got so bad that Robbie calls me up today and he says, "Man, what's up?" I said, "What's up, man?" He goes, "You know this?" I said, "Yeah." And I just came out and said, "Robbie, man, what the fuck? You sliced me deep. You really did on that. But I sliced him deep too. All right? And you know, uh, this motherfucker, this motherfucker that I already know has heart, he says, you know, we could do whatever you want. But I'm going to tell you now, I apologize. That's what he said. He didn't back down or nothing. Don't get me wrong. Because if you were real fucking stud, you don't back down from shit. All right? But he did say that. And me, I turned around and said, you know what, dude? I apologize too. I love you, man. He told me I love you too. And we had a conversation that we did. Talked about each other's families, talked about how good, how we are, or something like that, you know. And then, and then apologized again, got off the phone, and I had a tear in my eye. I really did. I'm like, wow, it's very rare that you get to meet a man that can actually call you up and apologize. And I learned something long ago. You can't be a man if you can't apologize. You can't be a man if you don't cry. All right? That ain't a real man. Everybody has feelings, and everybody should have empathy and sympathy. And if you can't have that, then you'll never give a damn about anybody. So I just want to say this to Robbie. Thank you, man, for making my heart feel and believe in that there are people out there that even feel different about how I feel when it comes to politics, which is sad because we've never had these kind of conversations before with any other president. But it's beautiful to have another man that can disagree with you, but still acknowledge you and talk and conversation and apologize. So I'm gonna give you a dap on that, Rob. I told my best friend that shit today. I told my boy Joe this shit. And and so then I get off the phone with him. I start talking to my wife about it. Turn on the news like I do. I got all the six channels and shit up on the screen. And then I realize I'm like, Jimmy Kimmel gets canceled because of his speech. Now, I don't like to bring this to politics right now, man, but I am disappointed. I'm disappointed that y'all don't see what the hell's going on. I'm going to tell you this. I may not care for what anybody fucking says. I may not care for what they do. I may not care for their hate speech. I may not care if they burn the flag. You know why? Because we're America and we have the First Amendment right to do and say what we want as long as it's not hurting somebody else. We have that right to do so. And when you start taking away freedom of speech, then all of a sudden you're breaking down the wall. That's what you're doing. I want you to think about this. You go in to government, you win the election, and you did, and you won it because, let's be real, the Democrats fucked up. All right, they just did. They let unvetted criminals into the United States. They put people on welfare and stuff because of it. And then they put cancer culture in your face. And then they had inflation. How can you not lose? It's impossible to not lose that. I mean, that's reality there. However, uh, since in the last 8 months, we've gutted the government, took people out, fired people because they were doing their job, and then we did this, or he did it, and then he pardoned everybody that was in this insurrection, everybody that was in the insurrection on January 6th. And you know why he did it? Because they stuck up for him. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if I lose a football game as a coach, I'm not going to take a gun to the 50-yard line, fire it off in the air, and have them change the scoreboard because I said so. I'm not going to do that, man. I'm not going to do that. And then, before what happens today, you have, what is his name? Stephen Colbert. We have Stephen Colbert get taken off the station because Trump was not going to let a deal go down unless he got fired. He could have held it back from the FCC. And then he did it again today. Now, I'm not for a lot of shit this man does because I think he's trying to just tear America apart. But when you hold companies hostage from making deals because you want to cancel the freedom of speech, you have to realize and start to worry what is next. I don't want to hear this make America great again. I don't want to hear it, man. All right? Because that's not great. That's not great. You have the Second Amendment right to carry a gun. You have that right. All right? However, if they want to run this country the way they want to, the way it looks like, that might be gone very soon. Or it might be gone for the states that back Trump, but not for the ones that don't. That's not America, guys. That is not America. And I'm not talking shit right now. I'm disappointed that America doesn't see it. Jimmy Kimmel talked shit. He said that it may have been a MAGA guy that shot Charlie Kirk. All right? I have my opinion about Charlie Kirk. You've seen it on video. You know why? Because I have the right to say it. Y'all have said stuff because you have the right to say it. But none of us has the right to get canceled. None of us has the right to go to jail because we said it. Because that's what's next. You can make businesses stop doing shit unless you tell them something and then you make them bend over. But what happens when people don't? What do you do to people? What do you do to individuals if they don't bow down to you? Think about that. Think about that. Like I said again, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in this government and how they've let this man do the things he's done to hurt us Americans. And I'm disappointed in any Americans that back him. My wife is a Republican. I'm not against Republicans. I'm against people that hold someone to a higher standard and believe they're a god or a king and allow them to run over the God-given rights that we have. What's next? What the hell is next? That's what you got to ask yourself. And I'm keeping it real.